Opened. The man who owned nearly half of this skyscraper and the CEO who fired him never once asked his name. This isn't just a doorty about one man, it's about a world that judges people by their uniform. Opened, not their worth. Part 1. The hidden identity. Daniel Marsh cleaned floors at night. He arrived in a gleaming Chicago skyscraper, pushed his cart through empty hallways, disappeared into stairwells. Opened. Nobody looked at him twice. But here's this earlier. Daniel had built and sold a software company for a fortune. Opened. He quietly folded that money into a private holding company, one that the very building he mopped floors in, nobody knew. He made sure of it. Daniel's wife, Corzet, 2 years ago, his wife, Claire, died suddenly. Opened. In his grief, he made a decision most would call entirely. Handed control of his room to a trusted lawyer and took a night job. Not for the money, not for Eni, for his daughter Emma. Opened. He wanted her to grow up grounded, not chased by reporters. Why do you make it beautiful for the people inside? A laptop went missing from the 14th floor. A laptop went missing from the 14th floor. Opened. Floor manager Marcus Webb needed someone to fast. Someone forgettable. Daniel was the perfect target. Faked the access logs, marched straight into CEO Alexandra Voss's office. Opened. Alexandra had inherited the company in that chair, fighting daily to prove she belonged for seconds. Fire him today? No evidence checked, no footage watched. Opened. No name asked. That night was already deactivated. Theft, Marcus announced loudly. Get your things. Daniel didn't argue. He simply asked, what's the evidence above your pay grade? Opened. Marcus sneered. Made his daughter star-shaped pancakes. Said nothing about what happened. That night, after Emma fell asleep, he called his lawyer. They fired me. Daniel. Opened. Do you understand you own 41% of that company? I know, I'm not calling because I'm angry. A man who never met me called me a thief. A CEO who never learned my name signed off on it. This isn't about me. The next morning, opened. A routine audit flagged D. Marsh. Terminated without investigation, without evidence. Alexandra read the report herself. The system cross-referenced the name against the shareholder registry. It matched. Daniel R. Opened. Marsh. She didn't sleep. Shareholder. Same man, face-to-face the next day. In a small coffee shop, Daniel sat in a plain jacket. Alexandra stood the moment she saw him. Mr. Marsh. Opened. I don't know how to begin apologizing. Start by telling me why you never asked for evidence before you signed. The cause? It was easier. Because I wanted to look decisive, and because, opened, a janitor's file didn't seem worth my full attention. That's the real problem, Daniel said. Not that you fired the wrong man, it's that you'd have done the same to anyone whose name you didn't recognize. Opened. What do you want me to do? I don't want my job back. I want the next person Marcus Webb accuses to get a real investigation. Within a week, Marcus Webb was fired for falsifying records. Opened. Every termination now required an investigation, a witness, and 2 managers' signatures. Daniel never asked for his name on any of it. He simply called it the Fair Hearing Standard. Opened. Daniel Marsh never went back to mopping floors at night, but he never forgot what it felt like to be invisible. Years later, Emma learned the whole story. Opened. But what she remembered most wasn't that her father was a millionaire. It was that he came home every night, made her star-shaped pancakes, and never let the unfairness of the world make him bitter. Dignity doesn't need an audience. Opened. And kindness under pressure is its own kind of wealth. If this story moved you, tell us in the comments which part hit you hardest.